Hello Year 2, welcome to our final day of our online activities and we're going to finish off with some number magic. You know how much I love magic. So here we are, learning reminders. Follow these instructions. I'd like you might need a pencil to do it, that's fine. Think of a 2-digit number less than 70. Well, I'm going to go with 61. Add 30. So I'm going to add in my 10, so 91. Subtract 20, and I'm using my understanding here that I can pretend it's take away 2 in my tens column. So 91 take 20, 9 take 2 is 7. So I could do 71. Add 10. 70, 10 more than 70 is 80. 81. Subtract 20. So 8 take 2 is 6. 80 take 20 is 60, so it's 61. Add 3. 61, 62, 64. Okay, so that's my final number. Look at the number you first thought of. So that was 61. Add 3. 61, 62, 63, 64. Oh, look at your final answer. Magic. End up with 64 and 64. So, ask somebody in your house to follow those instructions as above. They might need to write it down. Ask them to tell you the number that they first thought of and add 3 and say your number is ta-da. And that's your magic trick. How does it work? Well, the reason is we added 30 and 10, so 40 altogether. We also subtracted 20 and a 20, which is 40 altogether. We added the 30 and the 10, which is 40. We subtracted the 20 and the 20, which is 40. And then we added 3. So we added what we subtracted, whatever we added, we also took off. Then we added 3, which means that we just really need to add 3 to calculate the final answer. The trick is we added 40 and we took 40 away, but it didn't look like 40 because we split that 40 up into 30 and 10. We split this 40 up into 20 and 20. So you could change those numbers around and do the same kind of magic trick, so long as your answers are, as long as you add on and take away the same amount. So you could write your own magic change like in the investigation, and that will be your task at the end. Some things to help you with this, we've got some working backwards sheets. Work backwards to find the starting number. So something, take away 5 is 10. Something, add 4 is 9. So you need to think about this. What number? Now it can't be 5, can it? 5, take 5. I have 5 and take 5 away. That will be 0. So if I have, and you might need to practice through like this. 10 take away 5 is 5, so it's not that. Let's try 15. Take away 5 is 10. So that was my answer, 15. Now, how would I work that out rather than just guessing numbers? Because that would be quite tricky. On this one, you could do 10, add 5 is 15. So that was a good way to do it. 10 add 5 is 15. So 15 take away 5 is 10. Link into our number families. Have a look at this one. Something add 4 is 9. So if I need to, 9 is going to be the biggest number here because it's an add. So that's the biggest number. So this number has to be lower than 9. So this one, whereas I could have done 10 add 5 is 15 for my number family. Here I would use a strategy of 9 take away 4 equals that number. 9 take away 4, you could count back or you could count up. Think about our learning from earlier in the week. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The answer is 5. So there it goes. 5. 5 add 4 is 9. Here it looks complicated, but don't let it be complicated, because we've got a number we don't know. Add 3, take 3. Well, this links into our earlier one. If you're adding 3 and taking 3, then it doesn't really matter, because you're adding and taking away 3. So my answer is 5. Add 3, take... so how could I work that out? Something, add 3, take 3 is 5. Well, we know from earlier on, and our learning here, that if we add the same number and take away the same number, we end up with that number. So 5, add 3 is 8, take away 3 is 5. Don't want to do them all for you, but they do take a little bit of thinking. But use the understanding from our investigation, use our strategies here, where we know if it's a takeaway, we can add those two numbers. If it's an add, then it should be the biggest number, take the small number, gives you that one. And these two, if it's a takeaway there, you can add those two numbers to give you the answer. I hope that's clear. I'm not going to tell you all of those answers. You can work back. There's a couple more questions there for you. And here we've got practice hot sheet. So again, it's much the same. Have a little bit of a think about it. A question number here. Take 10, add 3. Gives you 13. So you might need to work backwards on those to help you. Well, there's this one, working backwards. Okay, so what number, if you take away 10 and then add 3, gives you 13? Okay. And then here's some what's my age activities. Ahmed, and I like these because they do get you thinking, and that's absolutely fine. You might not know the answer straight away, but it's about reasoning and working these things out as well. Ahmed doubles his age, so we don't know how old he is yet, and then adds 9. This gives his mother's age, which is 33. What is Ahmed's age? So again, you might need to work backwards. So you'd start with a 33, you'd take away 9, and then you'd look at what number you've got, and Ahmed's doubled it, so then you'd have to halve it. So this one, I'll do an example, 33. They've added 9 there, so I now have to take it away. Now you could do a counting up strategy, or you could count back. 33, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. 24. So I've done the opposite of that. Instead of adding, I've taken away because I'm working backwards. He doubles his age, so I need to halve it. I know halving is the same as dividing by 2. 24 divided by 2. Could count to my 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. That's 12. So Ahmed's age is 12. Because I've worked backwards, but when I'm working backwards, I'll have to do the opposite. So instead of adding 9, I've taken away 9. Instead of doubling, I've halved. So just go down here, and that should have an answer. I've got some answers there. Ahmed is 12 years old. So have a go at the other ones by working backwards. And when you work backwards, you'll need to do the opposite of what it asked you to do in the first instance. If you're a little bit stuck, you can have a look at these number chains here. A spider has been told to add and subtract lots of 10. She's getting tired. Help her find the answer to do the first number chain. Where does she end up compared to where she started? Look at it again. Can you see any shortcuts? So there's some number chains here, and you'll see they're taking, and adding certain numbers in those number chains. Okay, so you can look at some spider shortcuts at the side should you wish to do that one. And here finally is a magic chain, and this is just a fun activity to finish off our learning year 2. It's for you to write your own magic chains. So think of a 2-digit. Think of a 2-digit number less than 50. Write it down, and you're going to make your own rules up. Add this amount, take away that amount. Add this amount, take away that amount. So the rule is make sure that your step means the same amount is added and taken away. So if you're adding 30 and 30 might be split up in a 10 and a 20 or a 15 and a 15, you need to subtract 30. However, whatever way you want to do it, if that's a 20 and a 10, so long as you add and take away the same number, that is fine, and then adding on 5 at the end. Okay, hope you enjoyed that year 2. If you have any problems, please feel free to get in contact with us. I maybe didn't explain this activity in as much detail, so I'll just recap this one. I can move up, and there we go. The bit stuck spider shortcuts. A spider has been told to add and subtract lots of 10. She's getting tired, so we're going to find an easier way to do it. Help her find the answer to the first number chain. Where does she end up compared to where she started? So let's look at it again. Can we make any shortcuts? Do any subtractions or additions cancel each other out? Look at the number chain. See if you can find a shortcut to help the spider test out the idea. So what that means is, here we've got take 10 and add 10. So do we need that? No. We can get rid of those, can't we? So we've got 35, add 20, take 10. We've got a take 10, add 10. We don't need them. So we've made that shorter by doing that. So 35 add 20. You could use a column subtraction. You could count up in your tens. But there we know also 20 take 10. So we could just do, we could take 10 off that really. So it could be 35 add 10. So it's 45. Because we're making it simpler by cancelling out numbers that we don't need or are the same. So again, on this one, it will be, and we're adding 10 and we're taking 10, so we don't need to do that. They cancel each other out. And then you've got 47, add 10, take 20. So instead of taking 20, we could make that take 10 if we cancel that out. Or you could just do it. So long as the easiest way really is if you've got a take 10 or an add 10 or having the same number, you really could get rid of that. An example on this one is 10, 10 and 10. So 10, 20, 30. We can get rid of those because we're taking 30 there. So we just have a sum as 52, add 10. Okay, so I just thought I'd explain that activity a little bit more because it's just making numbers the same or adding them and taking away, and we don't need to do that. So then you can go back to this activity, and it's just a fun one. We'd love to see your magic chains. You can test them out on your friends or your parents. It's been lovely teaching everybody. You too. Take care.